Hi everyone, I'm Captain Alpha, and today I'm going to show you a replay with my Chini while we talk about how lousy this tank is, and some possible ways to play it. But before I start, why did I decide to make a video about this tank and not focus on the topic of updates coming to WOTPC and Blitz? Well, I'm just preparing special content so that you can improve Blitz with it. Let us begin. First of all, what features does this tank have? Well, in general the only good thing about the tank is the gun, since it has an arbiter of 160 alpha per shot. This means 480 alpha for each magazine. This is more than what the gun of an is, -7 or a mouse inflicts, but a tier 7. It also has very high damage per minute for a tier 7 medium tank, as this fully upgraded tank takes 9 seconds to reload the magazine and 2 seconds to fire the full magazine, which means 11 seconds to reload for a possible alpha 480. Of course, considering that you are not always going to penetrate the shots, but if we do not take that into account, the tank is very good in the aspects of the gun. Sounds great, right? Well, don't get excited, this tank has a relatively low penetration, especially in the premium ammunition, with a quantity of 186mm, being one of the medium tanks with the worst premium penetration in tier 7. Also, this tank is basically a show box. It's gigantic, extremely easy to penetrate, and you're a delicious lunch for tanks with guns of 120mm or more, since you are very easy to penetrate with high explosives, and they can inflict you a lot of damage. I forgot to say, the gun is so accurate when the tank is fully upgraded, and when it is a refined gun with a dispersion of 0.293. Well, and now how can you use this tank effectively? Well, I think the best way to use this tank is to ambush the enemy and become a full support fire for your team. You also have to keep in mind that, as I said before, this tank has a very good recharge, so you have to learn to use it well. What do I mean with this? Well, when you get a chance to reload, do it. Don't wait for the enemy to start chasing you to start reloading. If you have to use premium ammo, use it to penetrate as many shots as you can and make your alpha hurt the enemy. Oh, and aim all your shots well. Don't rely on autofocus. Don't CT rate tanks face to face, as they will always penetrate you and you won't. Like I said, try to surprise the enemy and to the support of your team. Pay attention to tanks with bigger guns, and if you have to retreat, do so, but don't abandon your team. Just change position and kill the enemy. You have to bear in mind that your team is not always going to help you and you are going to lose. Don't bother. If you got tired of playing the tank, change to another one, because this is a very bad tank and it needs some improvements. Now we go with a replay of T-rate with this tank that shows what you have to do in a game with high T tanks. Oh, by the way, how do I equip this tank? Well, in the consumables, I have put the 2 repair kits, since you will surely need them, because being an easy to penetrate tank, they will damage the modules easily and you will have to repair them. For that same reason, I also carry the medical assistance kit, and in the equipment section I have calibrated shells, enhanced gun length drive, refined gun, improved modules, improved assembly, toolbox, improved optics, and engine accelerator. Like I said, avoid being in front of a tier 8 and try attacking it from behind like I'm about to do right now with the Progetto. You can also attack at relatively far distances to annoy the enemy with your clip's fast download speed. As I told you, with this tank what you want to do is be a support fire, so as you see here, I tried to help the terrain as quickly as possible, although with the poor speed that this tank has thanks to its size, I only got to steal the kill I had. I'm waiting for my gun to reload and I will try my best to shoot the enemies to cause the best possible impact in the game. Here apparently I had a shot available, but in the end I couldn't manage to kill the AMXXD, and so these are all the advice I wanted to give you. So, now I'm going to show you the reality of how most of your games with this tank are going to be, since these are one of the best games I've had with this tank. I have others, but I chose these replays, because they show what it is like to be in a higher tier with this tank, plus for some strange reason most of my games with a career in T-rank. This means that I cannot perform as well as I could with other tanks, considering all the disadvantages of the career. Well, as you can see here, I am trying to do everything possible to that the T-44 doesn't die, but despite the fact that I arrived as fast as I could and got in front of the Cairnarvon, the T-44 couldn't withdraw, and for obvious reasons they killed him. Oh, and those bounces that the Cairnarvon did was because of the small caliber of the Cairnarvon's gun. This tank will never bounce shots except for small caliber guns. As I said before, let's see the reality of what you are going to suffer with the teams and what it is like to be uninstalled by high caliber guns. Could you explain why here in this bush there is a Type 2? I think that's not the best strategy to use a Type 2 XDD. But hey, thanks to the slowness of this tank I couldn't even get to empty my magazine in the enemy heavy tanks that crossed on the other side. The Tiger even stressed me so much that I told him in the chat, "Tiger, what the hell XD?" And now, let's see what is going to happen. XDDDD, literally that is normal if you are careless with this tank like I did in that game. Look at this, heavy enemies flank us as if nothing is happening. And we, the medium tanks, got stuck. We only had the option to go down the hill quickly. But what a surprise. A T-49 will get behind me and prevent me from spinning the tank in reverse. Please don't ever do that. You only hinder your team. Thanks to him, I had to try to escape up the hill, but they killed me. And that's all. I hope you liked the video. If so, do not forget to press that like button. And write in the comments if you like the new artificial voice. And see you next time.